About 10 years ago, when Brent Caldwell was first hired onto the department, he came into contact with a 17-year-old and he threw him in jail. He arrested him and threw him in jail over bogus charges. They're so small I don't even remember what they were. But this guy told me, he said that he took his BB gun, and he said that Tommy Leak had actually seen Brent Caldwell steal this BB gun away from him. So, I mean, he's had, ever since this welfare fraud, you have to put into question everything that Brent Caldwell has done. And there's several cases that are pretty interesting. Brent Caldwell, he's a 43-year-old man, and he was actually fired from 3 other police departments before he actually came to Warsaw. He was fired from Williamstown and Taylor Mill and Butler, Kentucky. So he's been fired from 3 police departments. So it's almost like we get Northern Kentucky's trash. We get their garbage. And when he first came on, there's only 4 police officers on the Warsaw Police Department. So that's probably how he snuck in. He probably just had to convince, 1 or 2 people. But it's kind of odd, I mean, how Brent Caldwell is being shuffled around. It's kind of like what the Catholic Church did with the pedophile priests. They just kind of shuffle their people around and they hide their criminal activity. And because he is guilty of workman's comp fraud, that puts a taint on law enforcement everywhere. Anybody that's helped him to cover this thing up is guilty too. And City Council was told about this 2 months ago. And City Council went into closed session, and then there was nothing else was said about the matter. And then basically it went into closed session and it became a closed case. But it seems like Brent wants to be the violent one. Marie Helms, she protested a tax hike, which she is perfectly within the bounds of her rights to do. And Brent Caldwell was the one that grabbed Marie Helms and pulled her out and arrested her and humiliated her and embarrassed an elder woman. And it was big. I mean, it went all the way, I think, to the appeals court. So, I mean, this issue was fought out for a long time. It was by her estate, so I'm not for sure what happened to Marie Helms. I don't know if Marie had passed away or not. But Brent Caldwell was the one that grabbed a hold of her and took her out of the office. And also on August 4th in 2002, Brent Caldwell was the one that shot Jerry Sample, Sr., at the county park, right behind the high school, at the shelter. So, I mean, it's a shelter. I feel like if you were down and out, you should be allowed to go to a public shelter. Instead of shooting the guy, he could have took him to his house, give him some food, give him a room, give him a chance. Jerry Sample Sr. was down on his luck, and he wound up losing his house and his job, and he was really frustrated, and he was homeless, and he was sleeping at the Gallatin County at the Warsaw Park behind the high school. And nobody really knows what actually happened since the other witness is dead. So, but the official story is that he goes up there and automatically Jerry Sample just opens fire and he hits Brent Caldwell in the bulletproof vest. Now, something that's peculiar about this case is that 12:33 is when shots were fired. So you hear shots fired at 12:33, and then at 12:46 he calls for backup. So that's 13 minutes. Why did it take 13 minutes to call for backup? I mean, don't you call for backup like immediately as soon as you come across a situation? I mean, isn't it like, I need backup. I mean, it's right there on your shoulder, or it's like a walkie-talkie away. You don't need 13 minutes to call for backup unless something fishy is going on. Maybe he just had to get the courage to pick up the gun and shoot himself in a bulletproof vest. Maybe he covered it up. Nobody will ever know because there's only, like I said, the other witness is dead. But it's all speculation. It's just one side. That's all we ever get to hear. And Jerry Sample was a Marine Corps veteran. He fought for this country in Vietnam, an unpopular war. So he risked his life to do what the government had told him to do. And he's homeless. And that's 1 out of 4 homeless people are veterans of the United States. 1 out of 4 homeless are veterans. If you fight for this country, you put your life on the line for this country, when you come back, you should be taken care of. Thank you. Thank you for putting your life on the line. No, you do not have to sleep in the park. No, you do not have to be fearful that you're going to get shot. No. I mean, that's ridiculous. And he's a corporal. He was a corporal, so he was, you know, higher than private. He ranked higher than private. And he was 59 years old. So, didn't even get time to be able to get any Social Security or any benefits when he hit 65. He had 59, you know.